Hello everybody, my name is Michael, and in this video I want to talk about the mental and emotional changes that I've experienced since starting testosterone. On a side note, this is my, I don't even know, 5th or 6th attempt at making this video. I have 3 pets, 2 cats and a dog. This is Ben. And they make video taking pretty difficult. I've had Ben chasing after the cats a couple times, barking, and one of my cats just hacked up a hairball, so just thought you'd like to know. So yeah, emotional and mental changes. So from the very beginning, when I started, or let's go back, before I started, I had a lot of anxiety and dysphoria about various different things, and a lot of anticipation for starting testosterone. So even from the very first day after I got my first shot, I started feeling like weight had been taken off my shoulders. I had finally started my physical transition, and I immediately felt at peace with that. I had a lot of doubt and insecurities before starting T. Even when I was in the doctor's office waiting for my shot, I was feeling doubt and insecure. So finally starting that journey felt right, and I felt like, yeah, just weight off my shoulders. I felt good about starting that part of my life, so that was pretty exciting. After that, it was pretty consistent. One thing that I did notice, and especially for the first month, because I did what my doctor called pulse dose my first month, so I had twice my weekly dosage once every 2 weeks. So the first time I had my shot, I had 200 milligrams, and then I didn't get my second shot until 2 weeks after that. And the first week, I felt good. I felt energetic. I felt a little bit different emotionally. I felt like I was processing emotions in a better way somehow. And then after about a week and a half, I started feeling anxious again and just wrong. That feeling of wrongness came back. So I feel like having testosterone in my system is enabling me to feel things like I'm supposed to. And since I've been on weekly dosage, it's been consistent for me. Sometimes by Friday, because I take my shots on Saturday mornings. Sometimes by Thursday night, Friday, I feel dragged out and stuff, but that could be a combination of lower testosterone and just being the end of my week. So, um, when my body started changing, so when I started noticing my voice was changing, when I started noticing other physical changes, my confidence went up a lot, and my dysphoria started going down a little bit. This is Shy. Again, interrupting my video making. Um, yeah, so when I started experiencing physical changes, I started noticing that I was feeling a lot more confident in my interactions with others and with myself. For example, when I'm looking at myself in the mirror. So that was really fantastic. Not feeling so dysphoric all the time was really good too. Oh, she's clawing at me. So again, that was when I started experiencing some physical changes. That was probably 2 to 3 months in. When my voice really dropped around 5 months in is when I started noticing really a more dramatic increase in my confidence and self-esteem and change in my dysphoria. So especially when I'm dealing with strangers, because I'm passing a lot more now, and so that really increased my self-confidence when I'm out in public, and even when I'm out with people that I know, just feeling like I sound a lot more masculine and look a lot more masculine has helped me feel more comfortable with myself. So that's been really great. It's been such a relief from the constant self-consciousness, constant dysphoria, anxiety about hearing myself, looking at myself, having people misgender me. So that's been a huge, huge change for me. One thing that I was anticipating, I guess, just from reading other people's experience, is my patience levels and tolerance levels have gone down. I'm not as tolerant or patient as I used to be with others, myself, especially my dog, and that's been an adjustment for me. I've always been very patient, very tolerant. I get along with almost everybody, and so it's been a bit of a challenge for me to get used to not being a patient and feeling annoyed really easily with certain things, and trying to adjust to that has been a challenge. I spoke to my therapist about it, and she suggested that it might depend on where I am with my testosterone levels. So maybe the few days after my shot might be more pronounced versus the end of my week. So I'm gonna make an effort to try and notice whether that's making a difference or not. I am trying really hard to make sure I don't take it out on anybody. I've heard a lot of people talk about testosterone rage and how some individuals will really struggle with anger issues and will blame it on the testosterone, and I feel like that's not fair. It's not fair to ourselves, and it's not fair to our loved ones or the people that live with us. I think that it's our responsibility to do our best to deal with those new changes in ourselves, and do the best that we can to adjust and not take it on anybody else. I am maybe a little bit hypocritical in saying that because I live by myself, so I don't have a partner or roommates, and I don't live with family members, so it's somewhat easy for me to just not have somebody right then and there when I do feel angry. But it's been challenging with my dog. He, he's a dog. He's famous for eating stuff on the trails, and it's been a challenge for me not to get angry with him. So trying really hard not to take it out on him. It's I'm lucky because I didn't have any anger problems before. So if anybody is finding themselves before starting testosterone, or just at the beginning, or even if you're in there in the thick of it and you find you have anger problems, do your best to deal with those things before, or just do your best to deal with those things, period. Because I think it's important as trans men that we are responsible about that, and not, I don't want to develop this reputation of trans men being angry jerks. So there's plenty of literature out there that you can read on coping mechanisms with anger, and just increasing your patience levels and tolerance levels and stuff like that. I went through that years ago. I found myself having anger issues, and it was generally related to being unhappy in my relationship and unhappy with myself. So I dealt with all those things, and I felt like it served me really great now because I have those skills already, and I'm able to deal with these changes that I'm experiencing. So, and that really only started in the last month and a half or so. So, yeah, and that would have been 5.5, 6 months in. One thing that I'm sort of benefiting from this is that I'm also finding myself being more assertive. Before, I was always very, very passive, very accommodating to my partners, everybody that I interact with, and sometimes to my detriment. I would be the kind of person that people would walk all over, and didn't have much respect for what I needed from other people. So I find that now, and this may be a combination of, you know, before coming out, struggling with myself, my identity, with all the insecurities and doubts and all that stuff, and now that I'm on the other side and I feel more sure of myself, I feel more confident about the person that I am and more comfortable with the person that I am. I'm finding myself more assertive. I'm telling people if they say something that I don't agree with, or if it makes me uncomfortable. I say no if someone asks me to do something that I don't want to do, and overall just stand up for myself, and I'm not afraid to communicate if someone did something displeasurable to me. So I feel like that's a great change for me. I don't want to be the kind of person that people walk all over, and it feels really good to respect myself and stand up for what I believe in and my values. So that's been really great. And before I was always afraid that standing up for myself would result in people, confronting me or not wanting to be my friend, and I find it's had the opposite effect. Me respecting myself and what I value seems to, I wouldn't say attract people, but people respect that, and I respect that in others, so I don't know why I was so surprised at how it affected my life. So, what else? One thing that I spoke about in my other video, and it's not so much a emotional change, but it's sort of an adjustment that I'm going through with the physical changes, and that's just adjusting to what I look like now and the changes that I'm experiencing physically. It's a mental adjustment for me to see a different me in the mirror. I feel like I look great. I love the musculature of my body now. I love how masculine my face is. I love how deep my voice is. My chest, same thing. But it's been a little bit of a, I can't say struggle, I guess a little bit of a challenge. I felt a little alienated before, and that kind of brought a lot of doubt back, and I realized after that it's normal and maybe more common than I'm aware of, but it's normal for me to feel like, I guess a little bit alienated, but just having to adjust mentally to looking different and sounding different. So that's another mental or emotional change. Overall, I just feel really great, really balanced. I am embracing my physical transition as much as I can, and yeah, enjoying life as Michael. Um, I can't think of anything else. I do want to share how cute my cat is being right now, though. Um, this is Shy. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I can think of in terms of mental and emotional changes. So if anybody got any questions or a topic that you'd like for me to talk about, please feel free to comment or leave me a message, and I'll do my best to talk about that. Alright, thanks. Cheers, everybody.